Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from the World Whiskey Society. This is their Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in Oloroso sherry casks, coming in at a 48% ABV, 8-year age statement. Now, for full disclosure, I reached out to the World Whiskey Society for a review sample. They were kind enough to send this over for us to take a look at and a review, so I'm just keeping that transparency open. So the World Whiskey Society is doing some amazing things. They're not only finding barrels from distilleries here in the United States, but from all across the world, bringing them back, bottling them, and a lot of them they're actually finishing, and they tend to be fairly transparent over things, which we truly love here on the channel. Now, last year's offering, if I remember right, came from Oklahoma, and I just fell in love with it. Now, this release here is coming from Kentucky, and they tell us a mash bill, which is 78% corn, 13 rye, and 9 malted barley. And I'm really excited to get into it, so let's just see how it goes. As always, we're going to be trying it two different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water to see if anything changes up. And I gotta say, I love these bottles that they've chosen. This on its own, it can't be cheap. These are beefy bottles, and I love the toppers on them. They're just so cool. You want something on your back bar that's going to catch an eye? This is it. There we go. You didn't want that to crinkle in the microphone. As always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. Oh, there we go. If you're interested in some of the other reviews I've done with the World Whiskey Society, links to those videos will be up above and down below, along with a link to their website, so you can not only find yourself a bottle, but you can actually order directly through their website if they ship to your location as well. Beautiful dark color. Oh, it's already jumping out of the glass. Almost a dark amber, dark rich amber colored. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, that is rich. The nice thing is the sherry cask didn't dominate to the point of drowning out the bourbon. Get some nice, sweet, buttery corn notes. The rye spice in here is coming through beautifully. Nice bit of almost, I wouldn't quite say rye bread, but rye spiciness. A little bit of herbal, not really any medicinal notes. A little bit of a floral, green grassy even. A little bit of barley going on in there brings across just a slight waxiness on the nose. And then that sherry cask itself is bringing across those rich, deep, dark fruit notes, plum, and a bit of grape even. Little bit of almost a dark cherry as well. And for me, Oloroso sherry casks tend to always bring a nuttiness with things. And is lightly there. It's not very heavy-handed on the nose. No ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. The bourbon itself's got a great age on the nose. It actually goes a little bit higher than an 8. I would say closer to 9 or 10 even on the nose. A lot of classic bourbon notes going on here. You get that oak, the vanilla, the caramels. You're getting that charriness too, just lightly. It's not heavy-handed in the oakiness, but that sherry cask is really riding well. Beautifully soft and sweet. Very much a dessert bourbon on the nose. Let's go for a taste. Yeah, that'll do. Right up front, getting those classic bourbons, the dark caramels and the vanilla, a little bit of vanilla bean going on for me. That rich, dark oakiness. It is an oakier bourbon than what I was expecting, and I love oakiness. It's giving that bit of brown sugars and caramelization going on in there from that cask. And then you're getting those beautiful sherry notes. And again, I'm definitely calling it as a bit of fig, plum, dark fruits going on. And I'm also getting a bit of that nuttiness near the mid to end of the finish itself. Very nice. It's not heavy-handed. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a deep nuttiness, but almost like a bit of walnut. Just kind of a simple, just a waxy nuttiness going on in there. The spices lingering on the palate from that little bit of rye going on in there. That's a good sip. It reminds you a lot of almost like a fruit and nut tray, kind of like you have at holidays or parties where they got some cashews, some nuts, walnuts, and then you have your kind of grapes and your apple slices and things like that. It gives me very much vibes of that kind of a platter. I will say the sherry cask doesn't dominate. It actually uplifts that bourbon a little bit stronger, because I feel like your sherry cask finishing can go one of two ways. Either it can go very light and just kind of accent, or it can dominate, and they pick that right time to pull it out. It's just accents those classic bourbon notes on there. It's rich, it's oaky as well. I've never had a sherry cask finished product come across almost like double oaked level, and I like that. I'm a big double oak fan. So being able to make that profile unique for me, because we've all had a lot of Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey in our lives, that sherry cask just lifts it up and changes it completely. That is a great sip. Alrighty, let's add a little drop of water, see if anything changes up here. Alright, just add a drop or two, nothing too crazy. Just enough to kind of break up some of those oils, see what changes up here. Love that topper as well, look at that. Alright, let's go for notes on the water version. Actually goes a lot sweeter. I'm getting more like red delicious apples and even a little bit of Granny Smith tartness going on. Ooh, I like that. Bit of spice is still peeking through. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon now. Let's see if I can find that over here. And I'm kind of finding it over here now, especially that green apple tartness. Besides that, really good on the nose. There's no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. It just goes a little sweeter and a little bit less in the Kentucky bourbon notes. Let's go for a taste. Actually, that's really good as well. Your sherry cask is showing up a little sooner. It's not quite as heavy-handed in the darker, richer fruit notes, but goes a little bit more citrus, and a bit of that apple is showing up. The waxy walnut note that I was getting is there as well. A little bit of brown sugar and the vanilla showing up. Very light on the cask influence. Like, it's not super charry, or like, again, if you would have told me this was double oaked, I would have believed you. Not a lot of that kind of complexity going on, but it's still a really solid sip. Let's go back to the neat version. That got even more decadent and rich now. Find that bit of tart apple in there. And I'm also finding a little bit of that red delicious apple in there as well. Just kind of giving a little bit lighter, sweeter flavor. And that little bit of cinnamon stick. Man, this is evolving quite a bit. Yeah, that is evolving. I'm finding a lot more spice in there. Getting a little bit more cinnamon and maybe a touch of clove as well. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Try this one both ways. This woke up a lot of great notes for me. The neat version is phenomenal though. That is gorgeously done. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So you can actually order this directly from the World Whiskey Society for $170. And I think, as far as I know right now, at least at the time of this review, you can get free shipping on that over $150 in purchases. And yet again, I can't knock it. The mouthfeel, the flavors coming across in that Oloroso sherry cask just goes to show I'm wrong about Oloroso sherry, and they've proved me wrong twice. Both times, phenomenal sips. I've yet to have another place, bottling, distillery, or anybody in between, take Oloroso sherry to that level for me. And I gotta give that props. It's a beautiful sip, gorgeous bottle setup, definitely something you could share with some friends, keep it on your back bar, and just sit down and enjoy this and really kind of pick it apart, because there is a lot of complexity going on here. I am a fan of this bottle. And again, if you're interested in learning more about the World Whiskey Society or purchasing a bottle, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. The World Whiskey Society Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in Oloroso sherry casks. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I even like it might not.